Hello guys, I'm Sana Raees Khan, a Supreme Court lawyer. I also call myself a maverick. Well, I'm honored to stand before you today. I'm well known as a criminal lawyer for all the sensational cases of the country that I have dealt with. Many people don't know that I deal with cases from all streams of law and from all branches of law. Well, but I chose to specialize in criminal law. As a young criminal lawyer dealing with high-profile cases of the country, my daily life revolves around words like murder, drugs, encounter, narcotics, money laundering, tax evasion, custody, jail. I'm sure that some of you might find it overwhelming to hear these words randomly, but you have to believe that these words are my passion. Law and everything that comes with it is my passion. But today I want to take you beyond these legal terms to focus on the power of determination, the power of courage, and the power of passion that led me to choose this path that became a catalyst not only for my own life but also for the lives of those who I represent and I advocate for. Well, while growing up I had multitude of aspirations, envisioning myself as an astronaut and seeing myself as a superhero. Some girls want to be superheroes, some girls want to be princesses. Well, I wanted to be both, and thankfully that's what I have become. A dual identity that encapsulates elegance and strength. Well, I've always loved fashion, dancing, singing, apart from law. And today you'll see me on the cover of fashion magazines and you'll see me arguing the most talked about cases of the country at the Supreme Court of India, and that's what I mean by change. I'm trying to bring a change in my fraternity where a woman or a lawyer is not stereotyped into a particular, let's say, a dressing or a clothing or a behavior or a conformity. That's what I mean by catalysis. That's what I mean by change, being the change, and that doesn't happen by just thinking about it. Well, I'm sure some find it very perplexing to see a young woman have such a zeal for a profession which is always surrounded by turmoil and darkness, but this is more than just a profession for me. This is my passion. That embodies my passion for understanding human behavior under complex situations. Of course, choosing and specializing in criminal law was not an easy decision. Many people dissuaded me saying, hey, you take the corporate law, that would be less emotionally taxing, less challenging, and why do you want to deal with criminals? Why do you want to risk your life? But I knew I embraced the challenge, knowing that the road ahead would be arduous, but the rewards would be profound. Every case that I deal with is not just a legal challenge. It's a human story filled with passion, filled with fear, filled with hope, filled with aspirations. And every case, of course, every client has contributed to my growth as a lawyer and as a person. Well, I would like to, of course, discuss a few of my interesting cases with you guys. Well, when you hear the cases, you might question me as to why do I defend these people, but when you understand my legal perspective, you might comprehend as to why, the answer. Well, there's this case where a man was accused of chopping his girlfriend into pieces. And of course, the media frenzy is intense, the public scrutiny is intense, but so was my legal research, where I pointed out before the court that how DNA of the bones of the girl who is dead was never taken to match with her first-class family legal hair, to even establish that the bones are of this girl who has allegedly died. This could have been a case of corpus delicti. It means a legal principle where no one should be convicted of a crime in the absence of evidence that the crime actually occurred. Of course, this point of argument led to his freedom, which only solidified my faith in the judiciary, and dissection of the forensic evidence, which helped him regain his freedom. Then comes the Cordelia drugs cruise case, which of course shook the entire nation. 20 people were put behind the bars for serious charges of consumption, for serious charges of conspiracy. Well, today I'm supposed to argue the bail application of my client, and yesterday several bail applications of the co-accused were rejected. Here comes again a bunch of lawyers telling me, hey, you don't argue now, let them whose applications are rejected secure bail order from the High Court, let them challenge that, and then you can probably rely on their bail orders. But that's not why I'm here for. I'm here to create my own identity and carve my own niche. I proceeded with my argument. I argued for my client, highlighting as to how putting these young offenders behind the bars might actually create a strong and a wrong precedent and might make them a hardened criminal all the more. I also highlighted as to how non-conducting of blood test doesn't corroborate the charges of consumption. I also highlighted how there was absence of any prior meeting of minds to establish the charges of conspiracy. And well, the result was the landmark order. My client was the first person to secure bail in this controversial drugs ruse case, and that's because I followed my gut, I followed my instinct. Well, then I can speak about the case which is a media sensation, where a mother is accused of killing her own daughter, a mother who is a high-profile woman, a media baron, and of course this is again a media sensation, but my job is to cut through the sensationalism and to focus on facts. Of course, this case made me realize the importance of unbiased perspective despite of external pressure. Well, when she approached me, she was already behind the bars for more than 6 years and 3 months, and she had almost given up on hope. But when I took up her case, owing to my meticulous research, I got her out in 3 months, and that authenticated the fact that media trial is not based on facts. Then comes a famous beheading case where a young boy is accused of cutting the head of his girlfriend's cousin. Again, you know, these cases of course sound very heinous to you, but then I pointed out in the court how a knife, which is allegedly used for the commission of the crime, is recovered after a period of 5 days from a pond filled with water up to knee level, and the knife is still blood-stained. And the post-mortem report shows that the injuries are fresh. Imagine this man was convicted of life sentence when he approached me, but I pointed out this crucial piece of evidence and he got released after conviction. Imagine efficacy in judiciary and meticulous argument and research can actually save somebody's life. Then comes a case which stirred the national interest, a man who is found with bombs in his house. I pointed out before the court how the house is neither in his possession and not even exclusively owned by him. Bombs were recovered prior to his arrest and not as per the information given by him under Section 27 of the Indian Evidence Act. And also, of course, I pointed out several other discrepancies legally which led to his freedom. Now imagine his plight of being accused of a heinous crime of unlawful activities of terrorism. Well, one other case that also needs to be told is a man who is accused of setting his wife ablaze on fire. I established in court as to how he himself sustained burn injuries while extinguishing the fire. So, you know, when you see and you hear these cases, you feel, do you really think that all the people who are accused of crime are criminals? Well, the answer is no. Because I don't believe in labeling. You know, people generally label people based on social media and media narratives, but I don't believe in labeling. I believe in facts and reality, which I bifurcate from fiction. Because I have encountered people telling me, oh, you defend criminals, oh, you are the devil's advocate. But my journey has been catalyst enough to testify that I defend the rights and liberties which every person is entitled to as per our constitution. I defend the voices because every person is entitled to a fair trial, because justice, guys, does not fall out of the sky. Well, I'm usually never emotional when I take up cases, but here's an exception. There's this case where this girl, she was accused of getting her gangster boyfriend killed in an encounter case. She conspired allegedly to get him killed. Well, she had already lost her prime years of her life before she approached me. When I took up her case, of course it was very challenging for me because I was receiving death threats every day while I was handling her case. But despite of which, I never got deterred. I continued to fight for her, and I got her out. And within 6 months of her release, she was murdered. Of course, that took an emotional toll on me, but that only made me realize how much of an impact I have on people's lives and larger struggle of societal justice. Well, as a woman in law, of course, I have encountered biases and stereotypes. Embracing my femininity while asserting my authority has been a constant endeavor. I am also engaged in raising awareness about legal rights at international forums, and so that I continue to empower women. And through this, I want to empower young women to pursue their career unapologetically. Let me just discuss about one social event, which is of course very humorous and thought-provoking, which is a recent incident. I attended a social event which was for underprivileged children, Well, I usually always support such causes, but when I attended this event was about, dancing. The focus of the night was dancing, camaraderie, laughter, and the DJ was playing Bollywood hit music. While I joined in the dance floor, I saw a few serious-looking individuals, group forming, gathering in a corner, and questioning and talking and murmuring, oh, look at this Supreme Court lawyer. She's a Supreme Court lawyer who appears on news channels every week. Look at her. How can she dance? And well, these are the people who are the guardian or self-appointed guardian of societal norms. And they were making me feel like I had tarnished the sanctity of my legal profession by my mere existence on the dance floor, and as if I had committed a cardinal sin. And when, of course, I felt the weight of these negative glances, I took the mic and I asked the DJ to lower down the volume, and I addressed the crowd, and I did what I usually do in courts. I put my point across. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, I am a Supreme Court lawyer, but I am a human too, and I'm not a robot. I can dance. Of course, I mean, that's a well-known fact. Everybody knows that I love dancing. I dance well because of the reality show that I did recently. And I'm not a robot. Of course, if I dance, the world will not collapse. And imagine if I only wear my lawyer's robe all the time, 24/7, I'd scare away and scare off half the crowd. These moments of joy actually recharge me to fight for my clients vigorously in court. Well, of course, laughter erupted in the crowd, and I concluded with a stern note that no one should be bound by status, position, or rank. We are all humans, and we should all enjoy. We all have equal rights to enjoy. Of course, everybody joined me on the floor, on the dance floor, including those serious-looking individuals. And that evening had a great message that, change your perception, change your perspective, change the way you look at people, and change your life. Well, as I look throughout my journey, I'm reminded by the words of Mr. Mahatma Gandhi that be the change you wish to see in the world. Well, this transition into the criminal law and entering into a world which is uninviting for females, of course, and seeing the harsh realities of crime has been quite a journey. It's a journey which is not just a journey about success or legal victories. This is a journey where, of course, I've been able to make meaningful impact on the lives of the people whom I have represented and advocated for. And of course, contributing to a larger societal justice. Well, I mean, of course, there were people who told me and who dissuaded me as to how, as a woman, I would endure the psychological and mental challenge of this profession, but I proved them wrong, and I really had fun doing that. One of the profound lessons that I have learned throughout my journey is resilience in the face of any pressure, and to bounce back after a setback, and to channel the setback into a professional and personal growth. Well, of course, that's what my journey can be summed up into. Well, I want to leave you with a powerful message of hope and inspiration that each one of us has the power to be a catalyst for change. We all have the power, and through our profession, through our communication, through our daily interactions, we can always do that. And let us embrace this power. Let us challenge our fears. Let us come out of this our comfort zone. Let us challenge the status quo. Let us break down the barriers. Let us lift each other up. Let us be brave. Let us be bold, and let us believe in that power, in that extraordinary power that holds within us, that lies within us. Because guys, we are just always, I mean, of course, if you see throughout the history, it's the tiniest of ideas and the smallest of actions that have actually made these monumental impacts. So of course, you have to take the first step, even for the universe to guide you. So be the change, be a catalyst, be the change, and I would be very glad if I was really able to even bring a minuscule change in your lives today through my speech. And I'm really thankful, of course, to my parents for the love and support that they have given me. And I'm looking forward to catch up with you guys on this dance floor of life, where you show your best dancing moves and let the music play, guys. Thank you.